guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a new reading vlog, and I'm really excited because I have 7 books on this list. I don't know if I'll get through all 7, but they are reading your favorite romances of 2020. I asked on my Instagram what your favorite book is of the year, and I chose 7 that were high up on my TBR already that I was dying to read. So I'm going to get to them. I'm not going to spend too much time on all of them because I don't have time to do that, and I don't want this to take forever. The first one is the one probably at the bottom of my list because it's going to take me a long time to read it because these books always do. That is Heart Song by TJ Klune. I love this series. Someone did say this was their favorite of the year. This is the next one I am on. They're MM Werewolf Romances. I'm excited for this couple. I really want to read it, but it's very long. Over 440 pages in its tiny font, but I'm obsessed with this series, so I really want to get to it. We will see. I'm going to be a reading machine. It is Tuesday when I'm filming this intro of the last week before winter break, and I have 2 weeks off, so hopefully I get to all these. The next one I'm so excited to finally read. That is Indigo by Beverly Jenkins. I think I'm going to love this. I think this is going to be a favorite of 2020. All of these I'm picking I think are going to be favorites of mine, and that's why I'm excited they were your favorites because I'm super hyped for them. And I believe that actually Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life put this as her favorite of 2020. So I need to read it and I'm excited to. This one has to do with the Underground Railroad, I believe. She helps work for it. She escapes slavery, and the guy she falls for also is a part of it, and I think he infuriates her. I don't know. I'm super pumped. I have this edition, and I know that the audio has said is really good, but I really want to just like physically read it. I just get in those moods sometime where it's a book I'm like, no, I have to read this. I don't want to listen to it. I want to hold it and read it. The next one's Fable by Adrienne Young. This one is YA. It's the only YA on this list, but I know that Carrie from Booked for Romance is obsessed with this book, and I'm pretty sure she's the one who put that in my stories that this was her favorite. So I actually started it today. My kids are taking exams today and tomorrow, and I am caught up on my grading. I'm really on top of my grading. I get it done unless I have essays to grade, which I drag my feet on, but I still get them done within 2 weeks. I get things graded like as soon as they're turned in. I'm just like on top of it. I don't like have stuff to wait around. I can't do that. And as a student, I hated waiting for things to be graded. So I know my students appreciate me being on top of their grading. So I didn't have anything to grade, so I was reading during their exams, and I got 120 pages in. Really good. Fable is a pretty much orphan, not really, but she's on her own, and she has to really fight tooth and nail to survive, and she's like a dredger, I think. I forget what it's called, but she like dives and like finds things, and she ends up leaving because something happened and is on this ship. So it's a pirate book. There is a romance. Not yet any romance, but I asked my sister because she's already read this, and she's like, yeah, there's a romance. So this is gonna count for this video. I'm really enjoying it so far. I have to read Devlin Winter. Thank goodness someone put Devlin Winter on this list because it's actually one pick what I read next, I think in August, and I never got around to it. I don't even know what this one's about. It is book 3 in the Wallflower series. I've only read the summer one, but I really enjoyed it. Secrets of a Summer Night, and I need to read this. I'm not gonna read the synopsis. I want to go and not know anything into this one, but it's historical romance. One of Lisa Kleypas's most popular, so there's that. Then I definitely have the audiobook for the next 2 books. Look the Part by Julie Ann. Someone recommended this in that post I did, and this one I already talked about in one of my most recent videos where my favorite authors recommend their favorite romances. And this one, all I know is that he doesn't like the woman, but she gets along a lot with his autistic son, and then they fall in love. So I'm very excited for this one. My library actually has the audio, which I'm excited for. Then Only When It's Us. I'm blanking on the author's name. I'll put the cover here. This one I've heard amazing things about. I think it's Chloe something. I have an arc of book 3 in the series, and I guess you have to read them in order is what someone told me, and I think that there's deaf representation in here. He might be deaf. I don't know for sure though, but I've heard amazing things. Bree from In Love and Words loves this series. I just watched her recent reads video, and she was talking about one of the books in the series, and she said she's obsessed with it. So I'm so excited to try out this author. My library has the first audiobook, so I'm going to be listening to this. Then Kira, her favorite's Bitter Heat, and she actually sent me a copy of it because she wanted me to read it so badly. So thank you, Kira, for sending this to me. I'm really intrigued by this one. I'm excited to read it. I've seen it around a lot. This is by Mia Knight. I think Lacey might have read this and enjoyed it. I don't remember though. So she's stranded in a remote cabin with her ex-husband, and she hasn't seen him in 5 years, and he's not acting like the man she married. Did she ever really know him? Oh, okay, so this sounds really interesting. I'm really excited to read this. This might be one of the first ones I pick up. It doesn't seem too long, and I'm really excited for this one. I don't know what I want to pick up after I finish this, and I know I'm listening to a Beverly Jenkins audio right now. As soon as I'm done with that, I'll start one of the other 2 audios, but this might be the first physical book I pick up once I finish up the fantasy romance reading vlog I'm doing. But that's all I have. I'm gonna get to reading. Thank you to everybody who responded to my posts and my stories on Instagram. Make sure you're following me on there. That's where I usually get these video ideas from. So I'm gonna get to reading. Hey guys, so I'm here to update you. I actually have a lot to update you on because I finished a lot, and I know I'm back in my library. I try not to film back to back in my library, change things up a bit, but I'm about to head over to my parents' house for the Ohio State game. It's the Big Ten championship, so good luck Ohio State. We have my new Hello Lovely sweatshirt I'm wearing, Moody Readers Club. I always have that all linked down below with my coupon code. I finished Fable. I love this. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. Pirates galore. They're not really pirates though, not really, kind of, but it's a lot of ship stuff, which I love about my pirate romances. Fable is definitely a very strong character, and I loved how she learned to survive on her own, is trying to understand these new people about the ship she went on, understanding her past, making new relationships, and I really loved it. There was a little romance in the end that I really enjoyed as well, so I cannot wait for book 2. I just requested it on NetGalley, so we'll see if I get it. It is coming out in March. It was a cliffhanger. I don't really want to say anything else other than to spoil, because I'm going to spoil it if I say anything else, but I loved the atmosphere. I loved everything about this. So good. The beginning was a little slow when she was like still dredging and on her island, but I really liked that too, how she was a dredger. So she like swam a lot and like dove for things. Really cool. So really, really love this. Carrie from Booked for Romance is going to be happy that I love this. I have to tell her at our live show tonight. I also finished Only When It's Us, I think, the audiobook for this by Chloe Lice. I don't know how to say her last name. This one I'm giving 4 out of 5 stars. So I actually already finished this entire thing. I listened to it on audio and I enjoyed it. It is a new adult romance. She is a soccer player and he is kind of deaf. He's partially deaf. He had some illness, I forget what it is, and then lost like a lot of his hearing, and so he was a really up and coming soccer star as well, but he can't anymore because of his balance and he can't hear anything. So they start off wrong. I know Lisa hated this because in the beginning our female protagonist, she absolutely hates him because she thinks he's ignoring her and she's super rude to him. He's deaf, so he couldn't hear her, which is kind of annoying that happened. But then like they understand like, oh, he's actually deaf. She realizes that he's deaf and they end up being friends, and it goes from there, and I liked it. I just was annoyed by how much both of them would keep from each other and then got mad at each other for keeping it from each other. It's like, but you're keeping this from her and you're keeping this from him, and then you're getting mad that you're not telling each other that. So it was fine, but trigger warnings for death of a loved one and cancer, because it's a lot in here. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. I do think though it's because it is new adult, so they are 21 and in college, so I'm not loving those stories as much anymore. But I really loved how he was deaf and how he was going through life like that and understanding how his life has changed and who he has to be and who he wants to be, and also dealing with trying to get his hearing back. So he like stopped going to therapy. I also enjoyed the therapy in here. So on Twitter there's a conversation about how people appreciate therapy in books, and this had therapy, especially at the end. They go to therapy together, which I really liked. So this was cute. I did enjoy it. 4 out of 5 stars. And I also started Look the Part. I've just been reading a lot lately and I haven't been able to update you, but Look the Part. He is a lawyer and owns a building, sublets an office to a music therapist. Didn't understand that involved music, and they instantly butt heads. But his son, who's 12 and autistic, absolutely adores Elle, and he is learning guitar from her, and I'm loving the scenes with the son especially. So adorable. This also has death of a loved one, and Flint is not over his wife's death because of what happened. I don't want to spoil anything, but he feels like it's his fault and just like is very grumpy and damaged and doesn't feel like he deserves love again. And so I really like their relationship. And then the son is like, you can't date Elle, she's my friend. And so it's really funny. I'm enjoying it. I have about 3 hours left of the audiobook, but that's all I have. Sorry that's quick. I gotta leave in like 2 minutes, so I will talk to you guys when I've read probably the rest of Look the Part. So Darcy has been laying here while we eat dinner, and she's just gonna stay. I have Miss Lily here. I am watching Riley and Lainey's live show. That's tonight. It's Sunday right now. I'm starting Devlin Winter, which is book 3 in the series. I've actually only read book 1 a long time ago, like when I was back in my apartment, so that was over 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. This is book 3, and I guess Sebastian kidnapped one of the wallflowers, trying to like force her to marry him. because he needs money, and his dad's a duke and he used it all and he's not gonna die soon, so Sebastian needs money. But his dad's a duke and he's not gonna die soon, so Sebastian needs money, and he like kidnapped her trying to marry her. But I guess Evangeline needs someone to marry her because her dad's dying and they want her to marry her cousin who she hates. So she goes to Sebastian and says, I want to marry you, I have money, you need it, let's do it. And so she has a stutter and she's a redhead, and I think in this vlog, this is my 4th book so far, I'm gonna get to look the part in a second. 3 of the 4 books I've read, she's a redhead. So I looked it up, and 2% of the entire population of the world has red hair, yet 3 out of the 4 books I've read, 75% of the books I'm reading for this vlog, the girl has red hair. So I don't know what is up with romance's obsession with girls with red hair, but it's a lot. But I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm literally 10 pages in, so I'm excited to read it. Samantha was excited when I showed it on my Instagram from Books with Samantha. But I did finish Look the Part by Julie Ann, and I gave it 5 stars. The audiobook was really good. It's not a favorite for the year, but I definitely really loved it. It's 5 stars. Flint was so moody and damaged and broken, and Ellen was just like this ray of sunshine. She's a music therapist. She gets along so well with Harrison. I loved that relationship. I love the single dad aspect. I love how Harrison was on the spectrum. I loved how something forced them to be together. I usually hate the trope at the end of this book, but I appreciated what it did for the plot, and there wasn't an annoying like breakup or anything. It was so good. Trigger warnings though for loss of a loved one, alcoholism, and her father, something happens with him. He doesn't die, but something scary does happen with him, so be aware of that. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad I read it. And I do want to say, for Only When It's Us, the Chloe Lease book, I don't remember what it's called. There was one, I went through that fast because I had to leave to go to my parents' house, but there was one thing that really bothered me about that book was that the main character would not realize she was talking out loud. So she would be thinking something and then someone would reply and she's like, oh, did I say that out loud? It happened like 20 times. Do people actually not realize when they say something out loud? Literally, that's never happened to me. I don't know if it's happened to other people, but I'm like, how do you not know you said something out loud? You thought you said it in your head and then you actually said it out loud. I don't know. Is that actually something that happens to people? Because it was like her thing and it was kind of annoying. But that one I gave 4 stars. Look the Part I gave 5 stars. Fable I gave 5 stars. This is already going so much better than the last vlog. I just posted a vlog this morning where every book was 3 stars or less. So glad this is off to a really great start, but I think I'm gonna love this. And I'm also just gonna pick up Indigo on audio. I don't have time to read it physically with the other books that I have to read in this before, I wanna end this before Christmas. So it's the 20th today. I got to blare Cheetah Girls' 5 More Days Till Christmas, one of my favorite Christmas songs. So yeah, other than that though, I did go to Half Price Books today. I went to 4 different locations with my mom. Normally we go to them when they have their coupon sale, which is normally like Labor Day. It's always, unless Labor Day is gonna be 20% off. They usually have sales all the time, and they haven't had any really since COVID happened. So we haven't gone to them that recently, to all of them. And so my mom and I went to 4 locations today. I get 10% off anyway since I'm an educator. Got a ton of books. I showed them on Instagram, so make sure you follow me on there to catch up on when I go book shopping. But it was fun. My mom got some historicals and then I got a ton of historicals. So it was a fun morning, but time to read with these puppies because my sister's at work, so I'm excited. And I continue watching Riley and Lainey's live show talking all about some romance. Hey guys, so I just reorganized my bookshelves and I posted a video of that. I swapped my historicals with my young adult shelf and I think I like it. We'll see how this goes being like this. My historicals used to be like one small section and now it literally fills up more than 3/4 of a shelf. So that's awesome. But my present from Carrie came. I did a quick little Secret Santa with people in the romance Discord group. There were only like 8 of us that signed up, which is fine, and I put it together, so I just posted in it. Anybody who wants to join, go ahead, and 8 of us did. So I knew Carrie got me because I put it together, but she is amazing. So she sent me the Duke and I new edition with the show on the cover. This is on my wish list. I really wanted this, and it's the new floppy paperback version and I love it. So this is, I think, my 3rd edition of this book, but I had to get this, and it's so special coming from Carrie because we are doing the Bridgerton read-along together. So this series is going to hold a special place in my heart, especially because of Carrie as well. And she sent me this adorable notepad. I write stuff down all the time on different notepads, so this is very nice. And then she sent me, she keeps on talking about this quote with me, and it's really funny. And she said I need it on a shirt, so she made it on a shirt for me. And it says, "I don't sit and binge Netflix, I sit and binge books." And she like credited me saying it because I said this in one of my videos, and the people in our read along, one of our live shows, they were talking about it, and they were like, yeah, that's so true, like we need that on a shirt. So Carrie made a shirt for me, and then she made me some joggers with my name on it, Jessica Peace Love Books XO. So Carrie's amazing. These are so fun and adorable, and I'm so excited to have these. She's just so thoughtful in her gift giving, so thank you, Carrie, for this gift. I want to show it to you guys because I'm very excited for it. But yeah, I've also read some more Devlin Winter, and I'm loving it. I'm 90 pages in, and it's a marriage of convenience, so they've already gotten married, and he's like, well, you're gonna be my wife, and she's like, no, I'm gonna go take care of my dad and like not see you again, but we're just married. So it's interesting, like he wants her and she doesn't want him. She's really just guarding herself though, because she doesn't want to get hurt, because she knows what a rake he is. It's so good. I'm loving it. Everybody on Instagram was super excited that I'm reading it, so I'm hopefully gonna finish it today. I'm only about 100 pages in. I said I was 90 pages in, and it's like 350 pages, but I want to finish it today, so we'll see if I do. Are you tired? You're so cute. I told them they're cute like 10 times a day. Hi. Hey guys, it's currently Tuesday, and I'm definitely gonna finish Devlin Winter today. I have like 90 pages left, and the romance is so good because Sebastian is like determined to not love her but also love her at the same time, and it's really cute. And they made this bet that he could stay celibate for 3 months and then like be upside down and then be able to like have her however he wanted from then on for the rest of their marriage, because she's like, there's no way you can resist temptation like that for 3 months. There's no way. She thinks he's a rake. She thinks he would be unfaithful to her, and so he's like, fine, I bet you. So now he's gonna be celibate for 3 months, and I bet you he's gonna do it, and he keeps on protecting her, and it's just such a sweet romance. I haven't read a hero like Sebastian before, or a romance like this before. They're literally married like the beginning of the book, and then the rest is them falling in love as a married couple, and it's very adorable. I like the whole setting at a gaming hell. That's a lot of fun. I like how Sebastian's taken over that, and I would love to see more of her friends. I feel like I missed a lot of Sebastian's character development because he was in the end of the previous book when he kidnapped one of her friends, and we don't get to see a lot of her friends in this one, but she talks about them a lot. Again, because this is book 3, so that's totally my fault, so I get that, but I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm excited to see how it ends. I'm excited to see what happens with them, how they fall in love, so I cannot wait. I'm going to my parents' house tomorrow for like 5 days, so gotta pack a lot of books, and I'm hoping to start Bitter Heat after I read this tonight, so we'll see how far I get. And Miss Lily's just so cute sleeping. Hi. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, does this look familiar at all? I am at my parents' house, and I've done a couple vlogs here, I think, throughout this year, but this is my old bedroom. Very different than what it was when I was here. I had bunk beds and bright pink and blue walls. It's now gray. We now have a queen size bed in here and a nice bookshelf that has my mom's books and some of my childhood books. I think I showed you a little bit last time I was here, but I just finished watching Riley's like Q&A, and it was super cute, so go watch it if you haven't yet. Go follow Riley if you don't yet, from Riley Marie. But I finished Devlin Winter, and I can give you 5 stars. It was super adorable. I really loved the development of their romance, and I think I said I was kind of missing a little bit of Sebastian in the beginning, but I think that's because we were supposed to get him at the end of the previous book when he like kidnapped that girl, but it's fine. Sorry, I had like a thing sticking out of my slipper there. Yes. Oh, and I want to show you my shirt. It says Beagle all the way. It's from Tri Beagle in North Carolina. I followed them on Instagram, and thank God I don't live in North Carolina because I would adopt like every single beagle they show. But yeah, I had a picture of it with Darcy in my lap this morning. But I enjoyed Devlin Winter. I do think that it was mostly romance centric, so there wasn't really too much else in the plot other than their romance and like someone trying to kill her, which is just a little side plot. But I still really enjoyed it. I really love the development of the romance and how she really stood up to Sebastian, even though she's normally like a shy wallflower, and it was adorable, and I love the ending. But then I started Bitter Heat by Mia Knight, and I'm halfway through, and it's interesting because it's the beginning. There wasn't a lot of plot. It was like 80 pages, and she goes to this cabin to see her ex-husband's mom, and she had a stroke or a heart attack and had to go to the hospital. And so then her ex shows up and they just like go at it for 80 pages. And now she's back in New York seeing her sisters. Her dad recently died. I thought this was a mafia romance, but it's not really saying anything about the mafia. It's just saying like that they're really rich and like have businesses and stuff, so like billionaires basically. And he wants her back, but like something happened that really dissolved their relationship. She was supposed to marry someone else, then she decided to marry him, and they were in love, but then like he kind of really stayed away from her because he was trying to build up his business after her dad kind of ruined his life, and he's trying to get back, like kind of like to prove it to her dad that he's worthy in a way that like to stick it to him, like, oh, I'm good enough kind of thing. Not like he wanted the dad's approval, but he wanted to show the dad like that he could do it without him even when he's sabotaging him kind of thing. And so it's okay so far. Like I'm halfway through and I'm not loving it, but I'm interested to see if like anything else happens. I do like the romance. I like how they're kind of dancing around each other. It is very dubious consent, so like she'll say no but mean yes kind of thing, and like he knows she means yes. So if you don't like that, you probably won't like this romance, but that's in here. I don't mind it when it's clear like she wants it, so it's kind of that consent non-consent thing where it's non-consent consent thing. So like they say no, but it's like everything else indicates yes, and like she does want it kind of thing. So that's in here. That's why it's a dark romance. I think it's because of those interactions with her ex-husband, but so far it's fine. She's an author too, and I really like author romances, so I like how her family's figuring out about it, which is really funny because I can relate to that with my booktube channel. Like I kept it hidden for a while, and then my parents found out about it, and then when they bring it up, like you get annoyed because you're like, okay, like, and then you're like, oh my gosh, my parents are gonna see this kind of thing. And there's nothing to be like embarrassed about, but it's just the fact that like people know about it in your real life kind of like changes it, which is like what she's dealing with writing wise. She's like, oh my gosh, people know I'm writing this now. So it's funny, but I like it so far. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. And happy Christmas Eve. I tried to get Gigi to come up here, but she didn't want to because everyone's eating lunch downstairs. So I'm gonna try to finish this today and then hop into, oh, I have to read my Bridgerton book first. I have to read It's in His Kiss, and then I'm going to be reading Indigo by Beverly Jenkins. Okay, hi guys. I finally got Gigi to come up here with me. Thank you, G. And she just wants to give me lots of love. I love you too. Thank you. Mwah. Gigi's my best friend. Are you my best friend? You are so cute. A lot of people ask, but Gigi is one of my parents' dogs. Thank you. She's very loving. She's very needy. She wants attention all the time, but like not aggressive attention. She's just in your face attention. But we got her from a shelter. My parents got her from a shelter, so we don't know. She stands here wanting her butt scratched all the time. She just likes to stand here and get her bottom scratched. But we don't know what kind of dog she is. I've seen a lot of dogs like her online, but we don't know what she is. She's just our baby. We don't know what any of our dogs are. All 4 of our dogs, 2 of mine, 2 of my parents, are shelter dogs. We used to get dogs from breeders. We used to only have yellow labs growing up, and then my sister and I got Darcy, and then our parents got Gigi, then we got Lily, and then my parents got Eva. So we got them all from shelters, and we're definitely never going back to breeders because there's just too many dogs in the shelter that need homes. So yeah, and we always text each other. We have a group chat, my sister and my parents and I, we have a group chat where we send dogs to each other that we see from shelters that we follow on social media, and we always just send them to each other, and we're like, oh, we should get them, but we don't because we already have 4. So, and another dog, we don't know if it'll mess up the dynamic at all, and 5 would be a lot, so we're sticking with what we have right now, but we'll see, because they're just all 4 get along so well, especially Gigi and Lily. So yeah, anyways, that was a little dog update. Gigi just left me, but I'm here because I'm actually like wearing an actual shirt. I've been living in sweatshirts and t-shirts lately, but today is the 26th, so I didn't film it all yesterday, but I read a ton. I actually read It's in His Kiss by Julia Quinn because I had to finish that for my live show tonight for the Binging Bridgerton readathon. I watched the first 3 episodes of Bridgerton yesterday, and it's amazing. Everything I could have wanted. I love it. It's definitely different than the book, but I'm okay with that. I love it. I do think they're making Anthony a little too mean. So I don't like how mean his character is for no reason, especially to Violet, and Violet's kind of mean back to him. She has to be based on how he is to her, but they weren't like that in the book, so I'm not sure I like that dynamic. But I'll chat about all that tonight on the live show I have with the Binging Bridgerton ladies. To next week's our last one. But I did finish Bitter Heat. It's over there. I'm not going to grab it. I finished Bitter Heat and it was good. I think I'm giving it 4 stars, but it wasn't everything I thought it would be and it was a little slow. I wish it was all one book. I read the author's note at the end and the author was like, oh, 70% in. I realized it had to be 2 books. And it was like the guy had a secret and he didn't reveal it until the end. So, and it wasn't even like that big of a secret, and there's no mafia in here, so I don't know if he's like ends up being in the mafia because this is on Lacey's like mafia book recommendations, but it's definitely dark. It was definitely intriguing. It has a lot of steamy scenes between them that are very much like a power struggle between them. So if you're into that kind of relationship, you'd love it. I didn't absolutely love it like everyone else's, but I thought it was very entertaining and a good read. I flew through it. So I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I did enjoy it. Not a new favorite, but I can see why people love this book. So that was good. I think at this reading vlog, I've been reading really good books. I've been giving them 4 or 5 stars each. So that's awesome. I started Indigo by Beverly Jenkins and I'm really, really happy I'm physically reading it. I actually downloaded the audio and started it and I was just like, I need to take my time with this book because I listen to audiobooks fast and I wasn't going to be able to give my like sole focus to the book and really savor it on audio, which I already said in the beginning of this video I wanted to read it physically, but I ended up only listening to like 5 minutes of it and then I stopped and I was like, no, I have to read this physically. So I started it. I'm about 18 pages in and I'm really liking it. So Hester helps with the Underground Railroad and she's helping some people and she lives in the north, so she's free, and I'm pretty sure she was the child of slaves and they sent her north to be free, so she doesn't have parents. I don't know if she'll ever meet them, if they're even alive, but she takes in this guy named Daniel and he's like a very famous rebel, I guess. He's someone that everyone's after because he's helping free slaves and he was like beaten within an inch of his life, so he's recovering at her place, like in her cellar. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a romance together and I'm very, very excited. So yeah, and Chelsea from Chelsea Nolly Reads, I just have to say this, posted a video and I'm so excited. She is slowly coming back to BookTube. I love Chelsea so much, so I'm excited to see her back. And yeah, that's all I have. So I'm gonna go, I have to finish watching her video and hang out with my sister. She just got her vaccine. That happened today too. So she is a nurse and she just got the first vaccine for COVID. So she is getting the next one in 3 weeks. But I'd love to be able to get one as a teacher, seeing people every day. But you know, teachers aren't first priority here, ever. I'll continue going to work every day, seeing 100 people every day because it's my job. But all right, I don't have to until next week though. So it's Saturday today and I still have a whole week off and I'm excited. I don't know if I'll end up reading the TJ Klune book for this vlog. We'll see how I'm feeling, if I want to pick that up or not. I'm hoping to finish Indigo today though because I've been reading a book a day so far. So we'll see. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, so it is Sunday. Sorry this isn't the most interesting vlog. I can't really vlog a lot while I'm at my parents' house because I don't want to vlog in front of them. But it is Sunday, like I said. And I was supposed to have 2 live shows last night. One for our Bridgerton read-along and one for Ravished by Romance. But my parents have really bad internet. So it didn't work when I was trying to do the Bridgerton one. So we moved my Ravished by Romance one to Monday. I didn't get to do any live shows yesterday. But my plan today is to actually finish Bridgerton, hopefully. And film my review of the show tomorrow when I'm home and post that on Tuesday. We'll see if that happens. But I finished already Indigo. I've been reading all morning. My sister worked last night and so I just read all morning and I finished and I really liked it. I'm gonna give it 5 stars, though I do think that it went on a little too long. It's 380 pages and Hester works for the Underground Railroad and I feel like we didn't get a lot of those scenes. There was like a long chunk where it just felt very slow because Galen, who is Black Daniel, he is very wealthy, which I didn't know, and he does a lot more work but like off page than what we see, and she doesn't really do a whole lot with Underground Railroad after like nursing him back to health. She does a couple things but they're just sprinkled in throughout. I really would have loved more of that. I do think it went on a little too long, but overall I liked it. And then like there was a lot of action at the end in like 20 pages. So pacing wise I think it could have been better, but just the story itself was great. The romance, the build-up of the romance in the beginning was so good. I could have read a whole story of just her nursing him back to health because she like saw little glimpses of him, and then like there were some instances where like they walked in when something was happening, like they were changing or something or bathing, and you're like, ooh. And so like there was a lot of like pining and I loved that. And like in all Beverly Jenkins I've read though, they get together fairly quickly, so like they were together and we still had like a long time to go. I don't want to spoil anything, but that's what happens in almost all of her books I read. They're married, and there's like a good 100 pages left in the book. So I've realized that about Beverly Jenkins, so I just accept it. I'm not that big of a fan of that, but I just really loved this romance and how strong Hester was, and she really didn't want to marry Galen, and he was actually very wealthy and white passing, which was very interesting. And she has indigo dyed hands from when she was a slave, and it's like scary because people could just like steal her free papers and say she's a slave and send her back south. This was really good. It dealt with a lot. So happy I read it. 5 out of 5 stars. I don't know if it's my favorite Beverly Jenkins. I still think I love Destiny's Surrender more than this one and like the Destiny series, but I really love this one. I'm glad I finally read it. It is a 5-star read like I thought. Pacing issues, yes, but I loved the romance. I loved the overall story and all the history involved. There was a lot of history, and she does have an author's note where she actually has like a works cited of things that she referenced and looked up, so that was cool. But I really enjoyed it. But I think I'm going to end the video here. I know I said I was going to read a TJ Klune, but I've been doing this video already for a while, and I've already read 6 books. I feel like 6 is a good number for a vlog. So that's all I have. Let me know if you've read these, what your thoughts were, or what your favorite reads of 2020 were. I'd love to hear. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.